as you can see, there are many different options for eyes when making amigurumi toys. Now, my personal preference would be the plastic safety eyes, also known as craft eyes, which, as you can see here, there are many different varieties of. There are small ones, large ones, there are ones that have opaque colors, there are ones that have translucent colors for a quite lifelike look. There are some that have sort of a lizard or cat look to them. There are even some that have little ridges in them to create a bit of an owl look or a little bit of extra sparkle. And if you're lucky enough to find antique ones, you might even find these glass ones at a thrift market. Now, one special trick that I like to use is if you purchase the ones that have a simple clear plastic color to them, you can take a Sharpie or a permanent marker and you can simply color on the back of the eye in order to change the color to whatever you want. So I would do this a couple of times, and in this case I'm working with brown, and then I'd let that dry, and I would go through and I would add a bit of orange, again drawing on the back of the eye, and then I would seal that color in with a back coat of just a clear nail polish to ensure that that color never rubs off. So that way you can create an actual custom looking iris to the eye, your own unique color, and it can really sparkle and shine and give your toy a little bit of extra personality. And it also means you don't have to buy lots of different colors and have them on hand. So if you were to attach these onto a project, as you can see here, we've got a dog head here. All you simply do is you take your eye and you insert it through the stitches. Of course, you want to do this before you've actually finished off the toy. And then you would add the locking washer at the back, going from the inside, lining it up, pushing until you hear it snap. And then that would be permanently affixed to the toy. Now, another option would be to use buttons. Now, if you're doing a nice cute little teddy bear, something like this might be more appropriate. It gives it kind of like a handmade look, and it can be quite whimsical and quite cute. Of course, there's a lot of different varieties. There's big buttons, small buttons, shiny buttons. But in general, I like to stick with darker colors to make it look black. And one little tip is if you find buttons that have these little ridges on the back here with the holes, just like these two, then you can pull these through a couple of stitches, and then you've got a nice domed eye, again, that mimics what a craft eye can do if you can't find craft eyes in your area. Of course, they are available online as well. Now, if you are making the toy for a small child, you of course don't want to use the craft eyes or buttons because they could fall off, and again, they are a choking hazard. So you can instead embroider eyes on like we have here with this gingerbread doll pattern. So this is using a white yarn as well as a black yarn. So you could use embroidery floss to do this. Or you could use yarn that has either been left whole, or you could split it into the individual fibers if you don't have embroidery floss on hand and you need it to be a bit thinner. So if you'd like to embroider, then you can simply secure the yarn to the inside of the toy. So you can go through. Once again, you have to do this before you've finished assembling the entire toy. You don't want to go all the way through to the front. Sometimes what I will do, because it's very, very fast, is I will actually just tie a quick little knot here. That's the easiest way. Then you're going to thread that yarn through to the front, and you can begin embroidering your eye. So you can go up to the top, back down through, and you just want to keep going in the satin stitch to keep building up the eye itself. You can make it small, you can make it large, you could add multiple colors, you could even add a little sparkle of white in order to make it really shine. So you would just keep building that up until your eye is the size and shape that you want. Now, another method that you could do is you could also add a French knot if you want something to be a little raised. So let's just move over to this opposite side. What you do here is you hold your needle close to the work, then you wrap the yarn around the needle 3 times. You can do it more if you'd like it a little bit thicker, but sometimes it can get a little awkward. Then you put the needle through the work again, and you pull tight. So what this does is it creates a small little raised knot. So that might be good if you're trying to do a discrete eye or something that has a little bit of texture to it and you don't have anything else available, or if it's your preference. And then lastly, if you're doing a project and you're getting some kids to help you finish it off, you could also use a fabric paint in order to draw the eyes on, which could be quite fun for children. Say you've done a doll up and they're going to paint on maybe some nice red lips or something and the eyes, then that's another way. So that's just a few different options for creating eyes to finish off your amigurumi toy.